Alright, and hello. We've got a Magic Origins fat pack here. This is the first of two unboxings we've got. I've got a booster box of Magic Origins as well. And let's just get into this. Just so you know, for future reference, I am quite terrible at opening stuff. You'll get to see that when I open the boosters. Alright, pushes out there. We get the nice Magic Origins Player's Guide with all the cards in there. Got some boosters here and nice blue and white spin down life counter, which is cool. Alrighty, a few boosters there and some rules and references, which by now we probably shouldn't need. And obviously some lands. Got some lands there. And some more boosters. Alright. Let's see if we can't just adjust that. There we go. A little bit more height. Never hurt anyone. Right. Here we go. Booster pack number 1. I'm gonna just ignore the basics. We'll go straight to the uncommons. Here we go. Got a Majoring Network, which is a land. Tap it to add 1 colours to your mana pool, or pay 1 and tap it to put a storage counter on Majoring Network. That's quite pricey. Or tap it to remove X storage counters from your Majoring Network. Add X to your mana pool. So not too bad. You could find a place for that. Next up, we got Chief of the Foundry, which is a 3-drop for an artifact creature construct, 2/3. Other artifact creatures you control get +1/+1, which I'm gonna guess is gonna be pretty handy for the Thopterdex. We got Skyraker Giant next. He's 2 and 2 red for reach. 4/3 with reach. Creature Giant, yep, cool. And first rare, we've got Sword of the Animist, which is a 2-drop legendary artifact equipment, and its equip cost is 2. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, and whenever equipped creature attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle your library. So, pretty cool. Straight into pack number 2. They seem easier to open. I can't be the only person who's noticed that. Alright. Oh, I see a foil peeking out the back there. Let's see. Alright. We got Psychic Rebuttal, which is 1 and a blue for an instant. Counter target spell, target instant or sorcery spell that targets you. So not creatures you control, but actually you. If there are 2, it's got Spell Mastery. If there are 2 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, you may copy the spell countered this way. You may choose 2 new targets for the copy, so that's quite good. Quite good. And we got a Bloodcurse Knight, which is a 1, a white, and a black for a Vampire Knight, 3/2. As long as you control an enchantment, Bloodcurse Knight has 1, +1/+1, and lifelink, so that's pretty cool. And Undercity Troll next. We've got, it's 1 and a green for 2/2 with Renown 1. We all know what Renown means by now. It's 2 and a green to regenerate Undercity Troll, so that's pretty cool. Rare is Kythion's Irregulars, which is 2 and 2 white for Human Soldier at 4/3. No go? No, it's not bad, not bad. Renown 1, so potentially a 5/4. And it's got pay white to tap target creature, which is really good. And our foil, nice foil effect there, is Zendikar's Royal, which is 3 green for an enchantment. Whenever a land enters the battlefield in your control, you put a 2/2 green elemental creature token onto the battlefield. So, you know, decks could use that. Let's get rid of that. Move on to next pack. There we go. Right, we've got Tormented Thoughts next, which is a sorcery for 2 and a black. As an additional cost to cast Tormented Thoughts, sacrifice a creature. Target player discards a number of cards equal to the sacrificed creature's power, which is pretty good. That's okay. We got Angel's Tomb, which is 3 colours for an artifact. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may have Angel's Tomb become a 3/3 white angel artifact creature with flying until end of turn, which is cool. That's quite cool. That could see play in some artifact decks, I guess. Ramroller. Alright. It's 3 colours for an artifact creature Juggernaut. 2/3. Attacks each turn if able, gets +2/+0 as long as you control another artifact. So again, maybe in an artifact deck could be cool. And oh, here we go. Talent of the Telepath. This is cool. It's 2, a blue and a blue for a sorcery. Could have been an instant, but you know, can't have everything. It's got target opponent reveals the top 7 cards of his or her library. You may cast an instant or sorcery card from among them without paying its mana cost. Then that player puts the rest into his or her graveyard. And also has Spell Mastery. If there are 2 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, you may cast up to 2 revealed instant or sorcery cards instead of 1. That is fantastic for my mill deck. Get straight in there. To another packet. And you. There we go. Okay, we got Seismic Elemental. He is 3 and 2 red for an elemental creature, 4/4. When Seismic Elemental enters the battlefield, creatures without flying can't block this turn. So, it's good, pretty good. We got another Angel's Tomb. We've already been through that one. Foundry of the Consuls. It's a land, tap to add 1 colourless to your mana pool, 5 and tap, and sacrifice Foundry of the Consuls. Put 2 1/1 colourless Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield. So, Thopter deck is going to be a thing, and hello you, sir. Jace, Vryn's Prodigy, is a 1 and a blue for a legendary creature human wizard at 0/2. He's got tap, draw a card, then discard a card. If there are 5 or more cards in your graveyard, exile Jace, Vryn's Prodigy, and then return him to the battlefield transformed under his owner's control. I'll just flip this bad boy over. This is actually my first Jace Planeswalker, so it's pretty cool. And that's his flip side. Just getting close here. Maybe just focus in on that. There we go. So his +1 ability, he starts off with 5 loyalty, by the way. Up to 1 target creature gets -2/-0 until your next turn, so he protects himself straight away. -3 ability, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn. If that card would be put into your graveyard this turn, exile it. And his -9 ability, which this could go in the mill deck as well. You get an emblem with, whenever you cast a spell, target opponent puts the top 5 cards of his or her library into his or her graveyard, which, that's pretty damn good. I'm quite happy with what we're doing so far. I'm not even counting the packs, how many were in, I don't know. But we'll plow on. Okay, we got Sigil of the Valor. I never know if it's Sigil or Sigil. Sigil? I don't know. Artifact equipment. It's 2 colourless. Whenever equipped creature attacks alone, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each other creature you control. And equip cost is 1. That'd be pretty good for Thopters again. You know, swarm with Thopters. Ruined Servitor is 2 colourless for an artifact creature construct at 2/2. When it dies, each player draws a card. So, downside, but not great downside. Next we got Jessian Thief. I think that's what that's called. It's 2 and a blue for a human rogue at 1/3. It's got prowess. We all know what prowess does. Whenever Jessian Thief deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. It's pretty good. You know, stack some evasion on her. You never know. And we got Gaia's Revenge. This guy is a beast. He's a 5 and green for an elemental creature, 8/5. Gaia's Revenge can't be countered. He has haste, so he can come at you straight away, and he cannot be the target of non-green spells or abilities from non-green sources. Dang, is what I say to that. Dang. So, there he is. Pack it here. Okay, we've got Joraga Invocation, which is 4 green for a sorcerer. Each creature you control gets +3/+3 until end of turn and must be blocked this turn if able. This would be a incredible finisher, I think. Costly, but you know, finishers are generally. Next we've got Somberwald Alpha, which is a 3 and a green for a wolf creature, which is a 3/2. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn, which is handy. Nice little combat trick. And pay a 1 and a green, target creature you control gains trample until end of turn. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Next up we got Shaman of the Pack, which is 1, a black and a green for Elf Shaman. When Shaman of the Pack enters the battlefield, target opponent loses life equal to the number of elves you control. 3/2. Elves are going to be a thing in Standard. And here we go with Animist's Awakening. X and a green for a sorcery. Reveal the top X cards of your library. Put all land cards from among them onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If there are 2 or more instants or sorcery cards in your graveyard, untap those lands. So that could be quite powerful, but maybe later on in the game, I'm thinking. Okay, let's get into this. There we go. Right. We got Meteorite, which is 5 colourless for an artifact. When Meteorite enters the battlefield, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. And it has tap to add 1 mana of any colour to your mana pool. Thinking that's for more sealed stuff than constructed play. Maybe. Next up, Towergeist, 3 and a blue for a creature spirit at 2/2 with flying. When Towergeist enters the battlefield, look at the top 2 cards of your library and put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. So, possibility for the old Sultai deck. Next up, Blightcaster, which is a 3 and a black human wizard at 2/3. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you may have target creature get -2/-2 until end of turn. That is good for the enchantment decks that will undoubtedly be coming. Next up, we've got Harbinger of the Tides, which is blue. It's a 2/2 Merfolk Wizard. You may cast Harbinger of the Tides as though it had flash if you pay 2 colourless more to cast it, so it'd be 2 colourless and a blue. When Harbinger the Tide enters the battlefield, you may turn target tap creature that opponent controls to its owner's hand. So yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good for the old control-y decks. Next up, got Magmatic Insight, which is a single red for a sorcery. As an additional cost to cast Magmatic Insight, discard a land card, draw 2 cards. Pretty good for the late game. Get rid of a land for 1 mana and draw 2 cards. So yeah, good. We got Foundry of the Consoles again, which is the Thopter land, which is good. Another Undercity Troll. We've already opened one of those. Despoiler of Souls. He is black for a 3/1 horror. Despoiler of Souls can't block. You wouldn't really want him to at 1/1, I guess. Pay a black and a black, exile 2 of the creature cards from your graveyard, return Despoiler of Souls from your graveyard to the battlefield. That is quite good, because he doesn't come in taps, so yeah, we like that. And let me just follow through. Yeah, I think the last one for the fat pack. Bloodcurse Knight again. Eyeblight Massacre. 2 black for a sorcery. Non-elf creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Good for elf decks. Speaking of good for elf decks, we've got Shaman of the Pack again. And oh, this is just an elf pack. Awesome. Dwining Gilt-Leaf Daeon, which is 2 a green and a green for a 3/4 legendary elf warrior. It's got reach. Other elf creatures you control get +1/+1. And whenever Dwining Gilt-Leaf Daeon attacks, you gain 1 life for each elf you control. So, elves, definitely going to be a thing. Now I assume this is just 4 basic lands. But I'm going to open it anyway, because I've not had a fat pack before, so I don't. Yeah, basic lands. So there we go. That's the fat pack. No, that's that. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.